Good morning, everybody. This is Danny from Deep South Homestead. We're out here in our potato garden, and as we look down through here, most of the potatoes are dying. We have two more white varieties. We have the German Butterballs here and the Kennebec Whites here. We need to dig. We done dug the red New Orleans out the middle, so we're going to start digging on some of the German Butterballs to see what they actually look like and just see what kind of return we're getting off of them. We've tried the Yukon Golds, the whites, and now we're going to try the German Butterballs and see what happens with them. So I'll check back in just a minute and we're going to see how many we've dug off of just a few plants. Okay, we've dug 3 or 4 little plants right here, right off the end of the row right here. And this is what we've got. We're averaging 4 or 5 potatoes per plant. A couple of things I'm noticing right off the bat. The skins on them are really tough, but that's good because that means it'll probably store well. They're all uniform. A couple of little smaller ones in there, but most of them are pretty uniform, about 1.5 inches in diameter. Looks like that's going to be the normal size. We got a few little bugs in there, but we've noticed. I know I can't bring it up where you can see it, but the fire ants are really bad around these. So the white potatoes, I don't know if I can get this down where you can actually see it or not here. Probably not. The ants are, you can see them. They're crawling around on the ground down in here. They're all up around these potatoes. I'm going to try to hold the phone and break one of them up here and let's just look. We got a lot of rain supposed to be coming in. Guys, it's dry here now. It's bad dry. So that's one reason the ants are coming to these potatoes, because they got moisture in them. But if we look here, we can see they're nice potatoes. Really nice. I think they're going to do really good for us here for canning. Let's see if we can't pull this plant back here and just shake a little bit of dirt off of it. Got long tubers on them. I see that. So we're already up to, there's 3, 4, 5 we've got off of that plant. Here's another one right here, 6, 7. So, and I'm noticing the skins are real thin on them right now because they're fresh dug. Even though it's a tough skin, it's kind of thin. So if we bump up against them, so I can take my thumb and do that, the skin will come right off. That makes them really good for canning if you go ahead and do it early. If you let them set and that skin gets harder, it's a little bit harder to get it off of there. But I'll move this over. Let's see if we got any more in this dirt here. I don't see any more. This dirt's beautiful dirt for growing in. See if I can get up under another one here. So we can pull one more of these here up. Just kind of get a little bit of a view of what it. There's 2 off of this one so far. 2 nice potatoes. You can tell the skin's really rough on them. If I can get up here where you can see it. See how rough looking the skin is on them? That, if I can get this plant out of here and see if we can shake this dirt around. Look and see if we can, oh, stuck the potato fork through one of them. Well, it ain't really through it, it's just on the edge of it. We'll have to eat that one today. Lay it out to the side. We were looking for some to eat to test. Another one here. See if I can manage to flip a little bit more of this dirt around here. Okay. We'll try one more bush here and just see how this works out. Okay, now this one looks like a pretty decent plant. Look at, here's what I'm talking about right here, guys. You see this right here? See, there's fire ants are all in here. They're going up and down these stems. And when I roll these over, I don't know if you can actually see them in there, but it's all those fire ants. They're all up around these potatoes. That's what is destroying our potatoes. They come into these potatoes because there's moisture in the ground here. There's moisture on these potatoes, and they're coming, and that's the reason we got to get them. They burrow little holes in them. Let's see, there's 2, 3, 4. Look at all the ants. Fire ants everywhere. 5, 6. Okay. So we got 6 nice potatoes. I mean, these, we figure we can quarter these and they'll fit in jars perfect for canning. Okay, we're gonna continue digging on down through here, see if we can't get a few of them dug, guys. And you can see there, nice potatoes. I don't know how about the taste yet, but we're gonna try to see if we can't get a few more dug and see how, if we're staying, you know, if we're staying pretty uniform with our size, and if the harvest is gonna be good, because this is a 90-foot row. All right, I'm on the next row. I've dug the first 3 plants, and this is what I have found, guys. I hope this is not a sign of things to come. Look at this. You know what that is? Field mice. Field rats have ate the potatoes off of the first 3 plants, and this is what I'm finding left. That is not good. There's the other one. This is fresh. This was just eat. So I got field mice in my potatoes. And this one here, they started on the edge of it right there and eat some of it. But that's all I found off of the first 3 plants. So let's pray that all down through here. I know when I was cleaning up behind the greenhouse here the other day, I killed a little field mouse. So I was not thinking they would be bothering potatoes, but evidently they love the German Butterballs. So let's just pray that they haven't done it, because this is the end of the row out here. I get down in there where the weeds is thicker at, then they may even be worse there. And here's another issue we found. This is what happens when the sun gets to them. See that right there? I may take this and put it somewhere and see if it'll actually grow. Looks like I got a stink bug sitting there on the leaf of it. And that's another issue we're having, is stink bugs. They're actually starting to hatch out here now. So we're constantly fighting those as well. We need to get rid of him. Oh, he's going to jump off on me there. Get rid of him. And move forward with digging, and let's just hope that the field mice hadn't eat the rest of the potatoes. All right, once we got away from the end of the row right here, seemed like the mice were mainly just on that end down there. That would be kind of strange because it's out in the opening. We're kind of down in here now. Looks like the potatoes are getting a little better. No more mice. Hadn't found any more mouse signs in here. We're going to dig one right here. I got my fork stuck under it. Let's see if we're doing, how these are doing. These are, let's see here what we got. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, these are getting a little bit bigger in size. There's one off over here. Another one there. Get that potato plant out of the way. Some of these weeds right here snatched out of the way. Get a little bit better view. The plants have all, most of them pretty much have died. So let's just kind of see what we got here. Let's look here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Move this dirt around here and see if there's any more up in there. Oh, there comes another one right there. 7. So, oh, that's all of it in the dirt there. So 7 of them, and 3 of them are, see here, these 3 are pretty decent sized potatoes right here. And then the other 4 are, they're smaller ones. But we look, you can see their skin is just like, if I could just, if you could feel it, it's like alligator skin. It's really rough. got a really heavy texture to it. And I don't know if that's a characteristic of the potato or not. You see how, I don't know if my phone will, see how it's looking? It's kind of like alligator skin on it. Real rough feeling, really rough. I don't know how that's gonna, I don't know if that is a characteristic of these or not. This is our first year growing the German Butterballs. So we're gonna try another plant right here. Let's just see if I can get my fork under it while I'm, get rid of some of these weeds off of it here. Let's take a look and see what's laying up under this one. There we go, nothing right here. But see here, here's what I'm telling you guys. As I dig these potatoes, look at all the fire ants. They're in these potatoes everywhere. That's the reason we got to get them out of here. It's supposed to start pouring down raining all week. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on this one. Okay, so it seems to be a pretty consistent deal there. And there again, we had 1, 2 really nice ones, and the rest of them were kind of small. Now these little tiny ones like this right here, a lot of times I just throw them back into the soil because they might continue to grow next year. Who knows? They may come back up. But when I shake that dirt around, the ants they just go everywhere. Get some more of these weeds out here. We're going to continue to go on down. We hadn't gone very far. I mean, if I back up and show you, I'm just like right there to right here, maybe 10 feet. Got those potatoes, and I got this right here. By the time I dig another few feet, this bucket will be full, because we're getting them. It would have probably been full, but from right here all the way down to like right here, the mice had eat everything. There was all gone on that, and I don't know why, just that one little section like that, but no mice signs back in here, and no mice signs on the other row here. Only the very end of that one right there, and I don't know. We had a bunch of red clover growing up in here, and it's laid up in there. We let it kind of like chop and drop, just let it lay down, and I don't know if they started living up under it, because I use it for a mulch around my blackberries, and we got to clean the cane out. We got to get it fertilized. It'll all come in time, but we got to get these potatoes out of here first. So I'm gonna keep working, see how many we get. All right, guys, we are, what we're noticing, we've left these until, like I said, like this here, like most of the plants are dead. That's what they say to do for long-term storage, so they get a good skin on them. But this is what we're finding out, that a lot of the German Butterballs, they're rotting. The ants have burrowed into them, and now they are beginning to rot. That one, this one's all rotten. Those are rotten, that one's rotten. I've thrown away, you can see in the rows, there's potatoes up through the rows that are rotten. If it had not been for the rotten potatoes and the ones that the mice ate right here at the beginning of the row right here, this bucket would have been full. Now I've gone probably 32 foot. If you add both of these rows together, I've gone 32 foot to get this bucket. It would have been running over. But because of rotting potatoes, like I said, and the field mice eating them, it's knocked us way back to just not even quite a full bucket at 32 foot of row. So we've learned here that leaving potatoes in the ground, especially these white ones, till the plants completely die, it's probably not the best idea for us. It's probably, we need to get them before the plants actually die and the ants begin to burrow holes in them and stuff like that. It's one of those things that, you know, it may work in some areas, and some areas it won't work in. Now here, the red potatoes, you can leave them in the ground till the plants die. The ants will bother them a little bit, but they don't seem to hurt them as bad. These white ones, I mean, I can show you here. You can see here where the ants, they just eat holes into them. And when they do, they begin to deteriorate. So that's real soft right in there. Up here, that's what happened. They ate holes all in the end of it, and it began to rot. Over here, you can see where they've ate holes in them. That, and you have what's called wire worms. Wire worms will bore holes in them just like that too, and they begin to rot when they do that. And I have seen a few wire worms in the soil here, so I know that it's ants and a wire worm combination, that's kind of a mouthful, to cause these potatoes to actually deteriorate. And it seems like they're hitting the white ones worse than they do the red ones. So we'll continue to dig, and guys, we just wanted to bring you this part of the video and show you our results with the German Butterballs here at Deep South Homestead. I'm probably not going to show the digging of the whole field here because it would just take too long. But probably at some point we'll talk about how many we harvested and how much we got off of them and stuff like that. But right now, you know that the first 16 feet, or first 32 feet, there are two 16-foot sections here, we haven't even gotten quite a 5-gallon bucket full. So if that's the indication the rows are 90 feet long, just do the math and you'll see about how many buckets we get out of it. So we're going to actively keep digging and hoping that for better results and try to beat this weather, because when I turn around and I look up at the sky up here, guys, back in there, it's turning real dark, and I know there's rain on the way coming in off the Gulf Coast coming in here. So we're going to try to get some of these dug before the rain actually gets in here and maybe even makes matters worse for us. So continue to watch, guys, and continue to follow us along on our journey. Now, we'll do a taste test on the German Butterballs and see what we think about them, because these will probably be the ones that we do the most canning with because of their size. We can quarter them and throw them in jars real quick. Canning's real fast with them.
All right, guys, Danny just brought in the German Butterballs. Now, I bring these out and put them in the big container, spray them with the hose, and you just move them around. Look how dirty that water is. Then we have the Hoss tool bucket. And this is the easiest way to clean. And then I do it again. Now I'm going to go ahead and can these today. We're going to do at least one canner. And I've already noticed these have a blistered skin. But it'll rub off real easy. So I'm not sure if we're going to leave the skin on or not. It would make it easier just to leave them on. But if the skin comes off in the boiling, we're good. It doesn't matter. I've got to cut out some of the bad spots, but this is the easiest. The Hoss tool basket and a big container and a water hose. And what this does is it rolls them together. It's like rubbing them together, and it brings the dirt off. And you see how dirty that water is again. Not as much dirt in the bottom this time. And I'm going to take them in, and we're going to get started canning. All right, I'm learning a few things about the German Butterballs. Now, most of them are kind of smooth. I don't have to do much to them other than take the little spots off. I'm leaving the skin on, and I'm chopping them up. The ones that have bad spots like this, it goes all the way through. And I'm having to take most of it. I'm getting just a little chunk of potato out of these with the bad spots. These that are really rough like this, I took my scraper, and instead of using this side like you normally do with a scraper and you're losing potato, I turned it over and used this side. And it look at it, just Who knew? Fresh potatoes, that's what it's for, I guess. Sometimes you gotta have some duh moments here. But that one's kind of rough in there. But anywhere it's smooth, it just rakes that right off. It beats a brush. It just works so much better. On a bigger potato, you wouldn't have, the skin just comes right off. Isn't that awesome? So using the double side instead of the cutting side that you usually peel, use this side because it's sharp. And I'll try to put a link in the description. This is the best potato peeler I've ever found. I own several of them. They may cost you a little more than the cheap dollar store one, but once you buy one of these, you will never ever want to buy a potato peeler again. This is a Rada potato peeler, and I promise you, you will never ever want to buy another one but a Rada once you use it. Anybody that's used this one says they won't go back to the cheap. Now I'm cutting them in pieces like this, and they're a pretty golden color like this, and I'm going to be canning them. So far with the German Butterball, I haven't tasted them yet. We're going to cook some for lunch, but we're going to put these up because of all the ant bites. Once I have my potatoes peeled, I put them in boiling water. I just put these in, so it's not up to boiling yet, but I only leave them about 2 to 3 minutes and take it back out. This is to pull some of the starch, some of the dirt out, and you do not use this water in your jars. Okay, this is what they look like. They're still steaming, they're hot, pretty yellow golden color. These will go in the jars along with, I'm using quartz, so we're going to do a teaspoon of salt. I have fresh water going. This is what you put in your jars. Do not use this dirty water. You see the difference? You want clean water in your jars. Alright guys, I have canning videos all over the place about canning potatoes. I'll try to link it in the description, but I keep my jars hot, my lids hot, my rings hot in the back. Right here I'm cooking lunch. This is just potatoes for lunch for us to try. I use non-iodized salt. Iodized salt tends to cause your jars to look cloudy, so I use non-iodized. You can use canning salt, which is the same thing. And you're still occasionally, with potatoes, going to have some that are going to turn cloudy. Then I put the salt in the bottom. You can put the salt in the top. It doesn't matter. These potatoes are already hot. They've been parboiled for 3 minutes. You don't want to parboil them longer than that because they end up being mush in the jars. I have a rubberized mat here, perfect for bumping down jars, stuff like that. And this is my final jar. Now, a lot of people debubble. I need these to fit. And that's pretty much where it's at. I've got my water sitting over here. Usually my water's sitting here, but since I'm cooking lunch, I had to take it off. This is hot, clean water. And if you pour it in pretty slowly, it fills in all the gaps and the spaces and stuff like that. Then you want to debubble. Now my friend from German Homestead sent me this. And with potatoes it's a little hard because you've got potatoes. Kind of want to get it in there. And I've got a little bit of space. I can add just a touch more water. And we're done. We wipe the rim because you do not want to have anything on your rim. And Danny always, whatever the front of the jar is, he lines up the bowl Here, he's kind of got me hooked on being OCD. So that ball and ball or whatever, this is a Knox, but same principle. Tighten it, put it in the water. Potatoes go for 40 minutes. So I have 7 jars here. We're going to put the lid on, bring it up to pressure, 40 minutes, and we're taking them out. These are the German Butterballs, and this is going to be my German Butterball for taste test in a little while. Okay guys, we're in the kitchen. Danny's here. I've got lunch ready, so we're going to be tasting the German Butterballs. Now, here I just have some slices, nothing on them. So this is just, there's your fork.
So this is just just like a boiled one.
This is just a boiled potato, no salt, no butter, no nothing. Tastes like a regular potato. Doesn't even taste buttery, does it?
Doesn't have a...
This is why I can't eat potatoes by themselves. This doesn't.
It just tastes like a plain potato.
Yeah, German Butterball's bad.
It wasn't nothing like the Yukon Gold.
No, this is meh. I'm just
Okay.
eating a cold potato with nothing on it.
Nothing on it. Let's try them. Now this one has
This is mashed potatoes
with the German Butterball.
with salt, pepper, and butter. Nah,
It's got a
it's starchy taste.
very starchy. That's what I was going to say. It's very starchy.
I noticed that canning them and cooking them, they're extremely starchy, and I don't like that.
It's almost like eating glue.
Yeah. Okay, so the German Butterball's a no. We'll have some in jars, but bleh. Not my favorite. Y'all, Danny's got to eat this for dinner.
I know. I got. Well, I mean, we've got lots of them canned, so I mean.
I just got 7 jars. We're supposed to take them out of the canner. And so that is our German Butterball taste test.
Yeah, it's not. We won't plan them again.
No.
No.
So guys, thank you for following along here at Deep South Homestead. We hope you enjoyed another of our potato experiments for this year.
I just can't get over how sticky it is.
That's what I'm seeing. I'm like, no.
I mean, that's just. Some people may love it. It's like when I stick. Look, let me. I don't know if you can see this, but I can stick my fork in it. Look how slow it goes over. I mean.
I was really surprised because
I mean, it's literally. Watch.
It's like glue.
It's just like glue.
When I was mashing them, everything, it was more of a gluey substance. It was pasty. So, no.
You can make glue out of that.
Well, I could, but I'm not.
I know it. Oh well, guys. You asked for it. We gave you another taste test with the German Butterballs. Some people may love them.
No.
It's not going to be a potato I'm going to plant again, I can tell you. I can tell you right now, it's not going to be one I can plant
We
again.
won't waste the time or space.
Nope, nope, nope. Now, it produced well, but
No.
not a potato we want.
So thank you guys from Deep South Homestead.